Well, good morning or afternoon or evening. I wanted to start out by making a correction to what I did last time, the last reading, where I had the reading where the 64th hexagram, I read it as turning into the 60th hexagram, but thank you to the person who commented on my last video and corrected me and said it turned into hexagram number 38, which is opposition. So I'm just briefly going to read opposition, and then we're going to swing on to today's reading. Okay. Opposition. It's above the upper trigram is Li, which is fire, flames, and the lower trigram is Tui, which is the lake, water. Now, the essential nature of fire goes up, and the essential nature of water goes down. Water will flow down. Okay. So the essential nature of these two trigrams is going in opposite directions. This is why you get the hexagram of opposition. So what does this mean? Essentially, it can be as gentle as a misunderstanding, or it could be as violent as literally fighting and killing. I mean, all of those are oppositions. But like everything else in the I Ching, everything changes. So the I Ching is the book of changes. This opposition essentially starts out as misunderstanding, resentment, however it reads for you, where you're at right now in your life. And eventually it resolves because it has to. Everything changes. So the judgment here, opposition in small matters, good fortune. In other words, when you are in opposition, don't try to do something huge like come after somebody and say, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Right now, we have a lot of opposition in this world. And when people come at each other like this, would you actually be willing to listen to somebody who's coming at you like this? I don't know anyone who would. But in small matters, we can have success. And ultimately, this will resolve, whether it's in the world or among family members or friends or coworkers or whatever. So I apologize for getting it wrong last time. And today's reading, hopefully, I will be very clear. I'm going to separate those trigrams and make sure that I get this right for today. So thank you for bearing with me. And now we're going to move on to today's reading. Well, good morning or afternoon or evening, however it is, whatever time it is, wherever you are. And now that I have corrected my mistake from last time, I am going to try to do better this time. So, the general question, which is not really a question per se, it's not specific, but it's basically what do we need to know today? What is it that we need today? What is the message from the spirits today? Today being Friday, and it's the last day of February 2025. I almost said 2026. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Let's see, we have, that's a tail. That's a head. And that's a head. Okay, two heads, two heads, one tail. That's an 8, which is a yin line. Let's see, 2, 28, 25. This time I'm going to give myself a lot of room. A yin line, but it is not a changing line. Yin lines are the broken lines. Okay, what is our message for today? What do the spirits want us to know today? That's a tail. That's a head. That's a tail. We have a yang line, a 7. What is our message for today? What do the spirits want us to know for today? Tail, head, head. Aha. Okay, another 8. So this is the lower trigram. I should have 2 colored pens, and maybe I wouldn't make the mistake I made last time. Okay. What is our message for today? What do the spirits want us to know about today? Head, tail, tail. This is a 7. This is a yang line. What do the spirits want us to know for today? Tail, head, tail. Okay. 2 tails and a head. Okay. 7 again. Had to make sure I get this right. What is our message for today? Head, tail, and tail. Once again, a 7. So we have 3 yang lines on top, and we have 2 yin lines and a yang line on the bottom. All right. No changing lines. Somehow that just feels right today. Don't ask me why. Okay. The lower trigram. I have to really be careful here. All right. The lower trigram is Kan. Do I have that right? Yes. And the upper trigram I know is Tin. So that's 33. Kan, that's 6. See? My eyes jumped. That is the 6th hexagram. Oops, why am I putting that down? Let's take a look at the 6th hexagram. At some point, we're going to take a look at trigrams, but not right now. Here we go. Conflict. The creative heaven above and the abysmal water below. Now, the creative above, heaven is above, and it's not going to go anywhere but up. Water, as we know, flows down. This is conflict. Two different directions. The upper trigram, whose image is heaven, has an upward movement. The lower trigram, water, in accordance with its nature, tends downward. Thus, the two halves move away from each other, giving rise to the idea of conflict. Okay, let's take a look at the judgment. Conflict. You are sincere and are being obstructed. A cautious halt halfway brings good fortune. Going through to the end brings misfortune. It furthers one to see the great man. It does not further one to cross the great water. We'll go into this in a moment, but let's look at the image. Heaven and water go their opposite ways, the image of conflict. Thus, in all his transactions, the superior man considers carefully considers the beginning. Okay, let's talk about this one. What does it mean?